Welcome to your new favorite band, the podcast brought to you by the LA Maybe. And now, your hosts, Dallas Dwight and Drizzle Silvera.
Well, hello and welcome back to another episode of your new favorite band, the podcast brought to you by the LA Maybe. I'm Dallas Dwight.
And I'm Drizzle Silvera sitting across the table. What's up, dude? We got a lot to talk about.
What's up? We have so much to talk about, and we have not been good podcasters lately. And,
I mean, to our defense, though, between coming back from tour, holidays, and back on tour again, and we'll talk about those details, it's been hard, and we already had batched material.
Yeah, it's been a whirlwind for sure. So let's answer the question, where have we been? How about that? So we got back from the UK, and we did our recap episode, which came out, and then it was holidays, and we had alluded to, on the UK recap episode, we had alluded to something coming that we couldn't announce yet, and it turns out we could never announce it.
Yeah.
So what happened was, we were on the bus in the UK. We got a call from our management saying, "Hey guys, we got you 3 shows with Steel Panther in California. They want you guys to come out and play the shows." So we're like, "Oh, okay, that's a challenge coming back from the UK, and now we have to get across the entire United States." Which, for those of you from overseas, the entire United States, that distance is like 5 UKs. Like, it's so far. So how are we going to do that? And we put our heads together and made it happen. But what happened was, we got the dates over the holiday break. So all of the promotion companies, the venues, the agents, everybody was on break. So they couldn't announce us as the openers, and they couldn't put us on any posters. We couldn't put us on the website, nothing, because it was just, everything was shut down.
Yeah.
And the gigs were January 5, 6, and 7, right? I think it was 5, 6, and 7.
January 5, 6, and 7,
Yeah.
Yep.
So it was like, they weren't even back yet by the time they were back. They got back on like the 3rd. So there was no time to announce us. So that was a little confusing for people. I'll tell you how. We played the Fillmore in San Francisco.
Iconic venue.
Iconic venue. We're going to go through all these in more depth. We played Ace of Spades in Sacramento, which was like amazing.
Yeah.
And then we played Fremont Theater in San Luis Obispo, another amazing venue. And so we get to the Fillmore, and we walk out on stage. And as I'm walking out on the stage, like as I'm taking the first steps, I'm thinking like, I don't think anyone here knows there's another band playing.
Yeah, literally.
I'm thinking like, this is going to be a little weird, and I'm thinking that. And as I'm thinking that, some guy in the crowd goes, "Who the fuck are you?"
And this is literally as we're walking out on stage. This is in sound check walking on stage. This is walking out to play our show.
Yeah. Who the fuck are you? And I start laughing. I'm like, this is going to be an amazing show.
But he says it again.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
right. I didn't hear the second one because I was laughing to myself, I think. And I was just like, huh. But I was already thinking like, there's no way, like, we're not on a poster.
Yeah.
Nobody here, we're not on the marquee, and no one here knows there's another band. They probably think they're just seeing Steel Panther. So yeah, it would be a little confusing to see someone else walk on stage to a stage intro and be like, oh, who's this? You know? Plus, he was already pretty lit.
By the way, if you want to see our new stage intro, come to the shows that we will be playing. We'll talk about that.
Yep.
But it's a good stage intro.
It's a good one. In the Fillmore, in town, we're going to use a different one Foz and I were talking about. We want to go back just for this one to the one that says all the way from Charlotte, North Carolina. So I think that'll get a cheer.
Oh, that'll get a great cheer, yeah.
We'll get to that in a second. Let's recap it. Fillmore, San Francisco.
Well,
Jimi Hendrix played there. Led Zeppelin played there.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I mean, Eric Clapton.
Every band has played there. The Grateful Dead have recorded, like, I don't know, 70 albums there.
Yeah.
Like, they have 380, so probably a few of them were there at least.
Yeah, at least 70 out of the 380.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was, I mean, the wall of posters was just insane. And the photos that they had were, it was just like, holy shit.
Just like walking through history.
Yeah. And history that's akin to us, rock and roll history, you know?
Yeah. Iconic venue, man. And it was so cool to be there. Beautiful venue, too, with the chandeliers and the big open room.
Yeah.
And the really high ceiling.
What struck me as crazy was like, oh, this isn't as big as the Fillmore in Charlotte.
Right.
Because, you know, the Fillmore in Charlotte, it's the Fillmore, but it's in relation to the OG Fillmore. All the other Fillmores, you know, are because of the original Fillmore.
Right.
And the Fillmore in Charlotte still has the chandeliers and stuff as well.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, if you haven't noticed that,
I've
yeah.
not noticed. I've probably only been there a couple times. I go there like once every decade.
Yeah. So, but that's the genesis of the Fillmore venues. That is the OG. That is the bee's knees, cat's pajamas, School of Rock.
Yeah.
Like, fucking just holy shit. We fucking played there to a packed fucking room.
I remember when we were told, they want you for 3 dates. I'm thinking like, okay, LA. It's down that area.
Yeah.
And they're like San Francisco, Sacramento, and I was like, oh, okay, so NorCal. And then our manager, John, was like, one of them's the Fillmore. And I was just like, oh, dude. That's insane.
And here's a cool story. Steel Panther had never played.
I was just about to say this.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Which means we played the Fillmore before Steel Panther ever played the Fillmore. Because both of us that night, as us and Steel Panther, played the Fillmore for the very first time. And we opened. So we played the Fillmore first.
Isn't that crazy to think about? But we got to share the stage on the Fillmore, both breaking our OG San Francisco Fillmore cherries on the same fucking night.
It was cool. Yeah. And now we're brothers for life.
Yeah, dude.
We really did hit it off with all the Panther guys, and they're so cool and nice and helpful to us and stuff like that. So
yeah,
shout out to Steel Panther for taking such good care of us and taking us under their wing and stuff. We just couldn't have had a better time.
And I think it's great. I think it's awesome. Like awesome to say, like they're awesome guys. They're fun. They put on an amazing show, but they're awesome guys. They really are awesome guys.
Really, really are. And it was just really nice of them to take us out. And
and to remember who we were from like a year and a half, almost 2 years ago.
Yeah, they picked us.
Yeah.
And asked for us specifically is what I was told. So that's very cool. But it was I feel like they didn't have to do that.
No.
Like, most bands don't do that. And most bands aren't that cool, I think.
Yeah.
And they were just above and beyond nice and welcoming and cool and probably honestly spoiled us for touring as a support act.
Yeah.
But
no, I'm forever grateful. I'm not groveling. I'm just saying that was fucking cool. Like, fucking awesome.
It was really great. So then we went to Sacramento and we did Ace of Spades, which was sold out. And that was a big room. And it was sold out, dude.
Security had to get me to like clear the path and like push people aside to get my gear outside after the show.
Yep.
And people were trying
30 minutes to get around the outside of the venue to get like my stuff out.
Yeah, it would have taken me maybe not quite 30 minutes. I'm not the solo guitarist. I do a lot of leads and stuff, but it probably would have taken me about 20 minutes if they weren't there. Just
one lady, she's a pro at this, I guess. As I'm walking by, she grabs me, goes, "Let's get a picture," and snaps the picture, goes, "Thanks." And it all happened in less than 3 seconds. Like, it was like, "Let's grab a picture." Boom, thanks. I was like, "Oh, whoa, all right." Like, I was just kind of like probably in the picture looking like, what's going on? And she's clearly a pro. But yeah, like you said, just getting stopped along the way. So my gear was taken by the team. And I went off, the other way, and I was going to walk around to it. And I had to go around the whole venue. And just stopped constantly by everyone. Just probably,
it's so cool.
Like hand claps and high
they're
fives.
rock and roll fans there. They're clearly there for Steel Panther. If they're not, then because there were several people that came to the merch table afterwards that were like, well, we came because Steel Panther's hilarious. Like, not particularly because they love rock and roll.
Right.
But they just wanted to see the iconic show that is Steel Panther.
Right.
And they were like, but you guys came out and fucking, I don't even listen to rock and roll. We got that many times at the merch table. Like, I don't even fucking listen to rock and roll. And y'all were awesome. Like, this was fun. Yeah. I'm going to listen to you too.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, okay.
And
all right, dude.
What's cool is we're so visible at these shows, right? So we go up, we do our thing, and then we go stand at the merch table and mingle with everybody.
Yeah.
So everybody sees us and talks to us. Instead of us hiding in a green room, which we definitely could do.
Yeah.
But we choose not to. We like to be out there and be at the merch table and people see us and want to come talk and stuff.
Well, and I also think that as long as we can do that, because there does come a point where you might get mobbed, mauled, and molested. Almost like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I'll take 2 of those and I'll let you figure out which 2.
Molested
twice, yes.
Twice, yeah.
The other 2, you keep them.
Yeah. But anyways, as long as we can, man, like, because, we're forever grateful.
I've always thought, like, until it's a legitimate safety issue, like, I'll be out there.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Same.
But, like, the Backstreet Boys in their heyday, No, dude.
Massive safety
That's a
issue.
safety issue.
They would have been trampled and killed, and there would have been no more Backstreet
There's
Boys
videos
shows.
of their tour bus trying to just leave the venue, and there's women literally, because it's all preteen girls and stuff, climbing it and on it. It just looked like a bus of ladies, like made of human women, just like driving out.
I wonder how many
slowly,
chicks started their period on that bus, just like trying to climb it, just
sliding right off. Yeah, probably quite a few.
All right, we're canceled now.
We're saying periods.
Maybe. I don't know, dude.
Witnessed way worse than that this weekend. So we were never able to announce these shows. So,
I know, it sucks, dude.
So everybody in our life and on our feed and watching the show are just seeing pictures pop up like, whoa, what? They're at the Fillmore in San Francisco with Steel Panther. They didn't even say anything. It's like, yeah, we couldn't. We can't say anything until the headliner does. And or until there's a poster to share or something like that. And we never had any of that just because of the timing of the holiday break and the last minute edition and all that stuff. So but we made it happen. It was a great series of shows. Really had good conversations with all four of the guys at various points through the weekend. And
at our last show at the theater in San Luis Obispo, what's the name of the theater again? I'm Fremont Theater. After we were loading up, my dad's about to leave, and Steel Panther had gotten off. We're all back in the green room, and my dad's literally about to leave, and Styx comes down, and my dad was just like, I'd never really known about you guys, and he was just like, and you guys put on an amazing show. And that was so cool to see Styx, because he, because of safety issues, they probably can't really go out and do, be in front of people. But to hear that from my dad, I could tell Styx was, super thankful to hear, my dad's feedback. Mm-hmm. And was just like, oh, dude, that really means a lot. Thank you. And it was, such a genuine exchange. And my dad was like, all right, I got to go, hi, guys. And it was just, for my dad, because my dad bought a ticket and he had no idea and I had no idea because I didn't know, we didn't know much about these shows except for we're playing them. Mm-hmm. Here's the times. And this is where they're at. So it's like, Dad, I don't know if I can get you in. The only way I can guarantee you can come in is a ticket. That's the only guarantee we have. So my dad bought a ticket. Well, anyways, he ended up showing up with us, and their front of house guy wrote backstage passes for all of us so that we could get by security, do what we needed to do. But he also wrote it for my dad, and my dad was just like, my dad didn't even want to put it in his pocket.
Yeah, I remember he was
just like, no, dude, this is
He was asking me how can I save it? I was like, just put it on your shirt or something. He's like, no, I'm not using this as a sticker. Are you crazy? I was like, it is a sticker. Just put it.
Dude, no, that's going somewhere special. It was, he was so proud of us. He was so taken aback by Steel Panther too.
Yeah,
he thought he was so stoked. He went and bought a ton of merch after that show too, and he's already gotten merch and stuff. But
he bought I saw an order come through, and he's the same name as you, so I was like, what is he doing? And it was like every shirt we have. He bought one of each shirt. We have so many shirts on our website.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's awesome.
It was so cool to see my dad just so proud. Mm-hmm. And then also have a killer time at one of my favorite bands. It's no joke. It's no secret. Everyone knows Steel Panther's probably my top 5 bands of all time.
Same.
And so for him to be stoked about their show too, and that was the one night where I was like, I got to go watch the show with my dad. And so y'all were chilling at the merch table. And I came back and did merch and stuff at the end and after our show and stuff. But during Steel Panther, I was like, I don't hardly see my dad because he lives on the West Coast. Yeah. So I was like, I'm going to watch this show with my dad. And we were just laughing and having a blast the whole time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great time, man. All of the venues, shout out to all 3 of them, man. They were just, it was just such a pleasure to work with such professional venues and staff. And
extremely professional and
everybody
courteous.
Just handles their stuff and everything is communicated perfectly way ahead of time. And just all the info you could ever want right there for you.
Yep.
And one thing I really appreciated was everybody gave us, a list of contacts. Okay, here's this, here's that. If you need this, you call this person. Here's their number and email. If you need this, you call this person. Here's their number and email. And they're not even that. They're proactive. They called you about the
sound.
About
the
sound
Fremont
and stuff,
Theater,
which is what most venues will do. They have we have a production contact on our rider, and that's you. And they'll call you and say, hey, what's the deal with the monitor situation? What do you need for this? What do you need for that? And they get it all sorted out. That way, sound check goes really fast, really easy.
Yeah. Plus, they can also plan the exact amount of time they need to do what they need to do with the headliner band. Obviously that's first and foremost.
Yeah, of course.
So,
but all in all, just a great weekend of shows.
Yeah, dude. So here's what's crazy: is most of us flew in, but we also had a drum kit and merch we had to get out there.
Yep.
You bit the bullet, dude. Thanks so much for getting that shit out there for us. Because none of those venues had a drum kit on a house kit.
And to get all of our merch there in a drum kit, we couldn't fly it, so I had to drive it.
You drove through a tornado and a fucking blizzard to get to us.
Tornadoes, blizzard, torrential rainstorms across every state from the middle of America down. I went on the way there, I went South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, Arkansas, Oklahoma, a little bit of Texas because it sticks up a bit.
Yeah.
And then New Mexico, Arizona, California. On the way back, I did California, Arizona, New Mexico, all of Texas. It was a whole day in Texas, 12 hours.
Yeah.
Because we had to go literally from the longest possible part of Texas, from the tip to the tail. And then we did Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and South Carolina. So I did a huge circle across the entire United States.
Yeah, dude. That's extremely wild.
It was about 80 hours of driving. And it was good.
Yeah. So, anyways, what the part that you were maybe fortunate's not the right word because that's a lot of fucking driving. Mm-hmm. But so we are getting ready to go to the airport. We're already kind of late, waiting on some things.
Right.
Getting to the airport.
Waiting on some people.
I'm not going to call out any names. I don't want to get anyone mad. But yeah, you can imagine. I'm sure you could name exactly what you think.
Right.
And get it right. But yeah, so we get to the airport, we get through security and are boarding 20 minutes later. Mm-hmm. Then there's a delay for weather. And then there's a 30-minute delay while we're in the airplane waiting to take off.
Right, just like taxi delay kind of
and
thing.
we only had an hour connection flight, like an hour wait.
Right, because you flew Charlotte to D.C.
Well, if anyone knows any flights, they start usually boarding 45 minutes before the flight.
Right.
So we fucking finally land in D.C. Mm-hmm. And we're just going to that gate, dude. We're going.
I was so stoked.
And like we're like, yeah, dude, it was crazy.
Because I was tracking your flights and I was like, that's tight. So I was texting Foz when you were in the air. I was like, all right, here's the gate you're landing at, and here's the gate you got to get to.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was the first one at the gate because we found that our bags were our check bags were going straight to the other flight without actually coming off at the gate.
Gate check?
Yeah, we gate checked.
Okay.
Because of the nature of the gate check, and here's the crazy thing with 737s, I guess they don't let you gate check and then get it off unless it's a stroller. If it's an instrument, it's going to the next
bay?
flight.
Oh, okay.
Or to the bay, to the.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, and that's what they said. I don't know if that's totally true, but
it worked out.
It worked out because our guitars got on to the next airplane.
That's scary.
I literally get to the next gate. They're boarding already. Like they're already in groups 3, and 4.
Right.
And we're group 4. They're already boarding that.
Yeah.
And so anyways, I go up to the gate agent and I was like, hey, we literally just landed and we gate checked instruments. Are they going to be on this plane? And he was just like, yeah, they'll be on this plane. I was just like, said it pretty confidently. I was just like, all right, because we need them on this plane. Like, and he was just like, they'll be on the plane. I was just like, all right, cool. So I walk down, we get on, and I'm thinking like they're going to end up delaying this flight as we're sitting here because the weather in San Francisco is supposed to be insane. It's literally like a fucking monsoon.
So when you were doing that, I was in Bakersfield, California. And the whole time I was checking your flights and stuff, I believe I was driving from Flagstaff, Arizona to Bakersfield, California. And, the weather was insane. That night in Bakersfield, there was a car alarm going off literally the entire night. I was so close to going out there with a flashlight and Google and being like, Googling the car model and being like, where the fuck is the horn line? I'm going to cut this shit. Like, I don't care. Like,
yeah.
I'm going to install a car bomb on this thing. It's like, dude, so ridiculous. Crazy. This thing was going on all night. And it would stop for about 30 seconds. You'd be like,
that's insane.
And you'd be like, oh my God. The wind was just howling.
Oh, yeah. Dude, in San Francisco. So here's how crazy lucky we got. We literally landed in San Francisco. It's overcast and it's drizzly. Like it's kind of drizzling a little bit. Just, I'm used to that.
See what you did there.
Yeah. You smell what I'm stepping in. Anyways, 30 minutes after we had landed, all hell starts to fucking break loose. Literally, if we hadn't landed in that window, and I guess weather reports these days are so accurate, they like knew. Like
Right.
it was
That's
like,
probably why
oh,
they do
this
delays and
yeah,
such, yeah.
this is gonna be fine. Like we're gonna make it in time before this shit
They're
fucking
watching on
happens.
radar and stuff. I'm sure.
Exactly. And so, anyways, we land 30 minutes later. All hell starts to break loose. We literally get to the rental car place, and the wind starts just fucking, just going. And I mean, streetlights were out. Trees were falling over. There was debris in the roads. And the rain, it's not like it was as crazy amount of rain that we get here, like in the thunderstorms in the summertime when they pop up. It's just fucking.
Oh, it's like at 4 p.m. every day of the summer, from 4 to 4:05.
Yeah.
It's like a Category 5 hurricane.
Yep.
And then it's back to normal.
Yep,
Like, literally
exactly.
for 5 minutes, it just like all of a sudden comes in. Everyone gets out of the pool, sit here for 5 minutes. It's gonna be
So
gone.
that's worse than the weather we experienced there, but it was sustained there.
Yeah.
And it was less rain, but for California, any amount of rain is
It's a lot of rain.
fucking lot of rain.
Yeah.
So it's just like, was it intense? Not really,
Yeah.
but I could understand for California how intense it was. Like the
Right.
wind was, the sustained winds, that was the more intense part.
My friend
Like-
was supposed to come see us in San Francisco, and he couldn't because his house flooded.
Yeah, and my aunt on my wife's side, she was supposed to come see us at the Fillmore in San Francisco, but she couldn't because her basement was flooded.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just leave it. It'll be flooded when you get back. Fix it then.
Yeah, exactly.
Just a night.
Except for she was so exhausted unflooding it for throughout the week because
Yeah.
apparently like it wasn't just
Yeah.
that day. It's been like happening for like the last 2 weeks.
Right.
Like just like once in 1,000 year like rainfall in California kind of shit, or once in 100 year, whatever. Epic rainfall for California. So
It's good. Needed it.
yeah. But at the same time, I mean, so it was wild. And so I don't know how familiar everyone is with the stories of San Francisco, but you'll hear like in media and stuff like that, like, yeah, you get in San Francisco, there's just homeless people everywhere. There's human feces everywhere. And so we're driving to the Fillmore the day we're supposed to play, and the second we get off the freeway and start going into town, the first thing we fucking see is some dude strung out on drugs, begging. Like, and I'm not making fun of this. Like, it is sad. Like, but some dude's strung out, just leaning over. Do you remember this? No, that's right. We drove separate. Yeah. Yeah, because you were still driving in from Bakersfield. Yeah. So it was the other four of us, and this dude's just like slumped over, passing out, probably on heroin or something like that, and drops his sign while he's standing, leaning on a street sign, and then like he starts falling forward, and there's a sharp edge of a sign underneath that. And I'm like, oh fuck, I hope he doesn't fall. Like that'd be bad. Didn't end up falling, because the second the light turns green and the car start going, he's like,
He woke right up.
it was like, where's my money?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, dude. I didn't see. I think I saw one homeless person the whole time in San Francisco.
we saw several on the way in, but it was probably the amount of difference between your time and our time arrival, which wasn't long, was enough for the sun to pretty much be down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, Foz and I went to go get a beer after the show at a gas station. And so we're walking to the gas station, and what had to have been a human pile of feces we actually saw like
That's hilarious.
on the street. It's just like, holy crap,
There it is.
dude.
There it is.
That's what they talk about. It's right there.
Quick, get my picture with it.
So anyways, but San Francisco,
It was nice.
San Francisco.
Yeah. It was awesome.
It's
a
hard to-
cool city with a lot of history.
Really cool city
Really
with a ton of
pretty-
history.
Really pretty with a lot of interesting things about it, with the hills and the trams.
Yeah.
Or I guess cable cars.
What's
what they
crazy
call it,
was seeing the
Golden Gate
buses
Bridge.
going on those tram cables.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's I'll say this: it's hard to compare a lot of cities to Charlotte. Charlotte's such a clean city compared to like any city you go to. So like, you talk about Charlotte. It's like, name a city cleaner than Charlotte you've been to.
There isn't one for sure.
There isn't one, dude. So it's like, yeah, San Francisco is nice, but if you're comparing it any city,
I would say San Francisco is probably one of the cleaner ones I've seen, though. Like, because I was around it just as much as you, probably in different areas, but I didn't see too much terrible stuff. It's there, I'm sure, but it's probably there in Charlotte too. You know, it's just like
Charlotte has its spots. Yeah, it's part of being in the city. Yeah,
just too many people in one area. It's just how it goes.
Yeah. Yeah, you're literally stacking people on top of each other in high rises. Yeah.
It's insane.
But anyways, it was such a cool.
And then you drive through the rest of California, and there's nothing for 500 miles, and you're like, why don't they spread it out?
Oh, dude, why don't they spread it? Exactly. But the farmland there, man, dude, there was one area we were going through. It was like, holy shit, it fucking
Lodi.
stinks. Like,
Lodi.
Going through Lodi. Yeah. Oh Lord, stuck in Lodi again.
I had to go get something from my car. I was like holding my breath. Like, this is one of the worst smells I've ever smelled.
So, but if you don't do that, and you just like allow yourself to just like become accustomed to it, then you don't.
Yeah, it's just called going nose blind. You can do that with any smell.
Yeah, you know,
just breathe it enough.
It's just cattle, man.
Oh God, it was so bad. That was like worse.
But that breakfast burrito though.
That breakfast burrito was good for a few hours, and then it was bad.
You had such bad gas later on that day.
So bad, dude.
It was a massive burrito though. Like, oh man,
dude, it's the size of my forearm. Yeah.
Dude, we were like standing in line, and you looked at me and said, "Oh, I hope it's like a decent size."
Yeah, because it was the normal burrito was like $11.95, and then this thing was like $7.95, and I was like, I hope it's not like a little like mini burrito. So I asked the lady, I was like, "Is it a good size?" She was like, "Yeah, it's a good size." So I get it. This thing's the size of my forearm, dude. Like,
yeah,
I don't have small forearms.
And it was a chorizo, egg, and cheese with
also,
potatoes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
it was really good.
And then I was like, "Yo, can I get some pico in there?" Mm-hmm. And then you were like, "Dude, let me get that too."
Just like, give me that exact same thing. That sounds good.
Oh, dude, it was
normally
so
not something I'd order, but it sounded good.
Yeah.
So I got it. And,
it was.
It was killer.
It was
really
amazing
good
until the gas hit in.
And then what did we eat later that night? We went to Fremont, right? So we ate the what was that barbecue place called? Firestone or something like that, right? But I got a tri-tip sandwich that was just out of this world, dude. That sandwich was
the Firestone,
so good.
Yeah, so I got
got the chicken one.
I got the grilled chicken sandwich, and then it there was a little asterisk underneath. Get it this way, blah blah blah. I was like,
ABC,
"What's the ABC?" Yeah, I was like, "What's the ABC one?" It was avocado, bacon, and cheese added to it.
That sounds good.
I was like, no brainer. Let me get that.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it was so good. It was so good.
It was really good.
Yeah.
And their fries were really good too. But
and they were fucking fast, and the prices were extremely reasonable.
That tri-tip sandwich was unbelievable. God, it was so good.
Dude, might have to just book a flight out there just to go back.
I know,
to that
right?
Fucking place.
I ate half of it before the show and half of it after.
Yeah.
Because I was texting our hospitality girl, and I was like, "Where should we go? What should we get?" She was like, "Do you like tri-tip?" I was like, I don't even know what that is. Where's like a normal sandwich? And she recommended a place. And then I got there and I saw they had tri-tip, and I was like, I'll get it. She recommended it. And then I told her I got it, and I texted her. I was like, this is the best thing I've ever had. She was like, yeah. She was like, save half of it for after because they're just as good cold.
By the way, this was in San Luis Obispo. If any listeners are like, what should I go do if I'm going to San Luis Obispo?
Go right across the street from the Fremont Theater. I think it's called Firestone.
Yeah.
That place was amazing. And it was a really cool vibe. Good. It was like kind of, it felt like Charlotte, really.
Well, yeah, kind of like Charlotte meets like a college town.
Yeah.
Which
it was.
Paul Cali in San Luis Obispo, right?
That's the one.
So, yeah, it was, man, it was so good. And you see them there, like the staff is just fucking on it. They're like fucking, the grill line is insane. They're just,
oh yeah, they were on it. Yeah.
Order number, like in the microphone. We got order number. Yeah. Come and get your order. Blah, blah. And then like it's just so fucking fast, dude.
Yep. Because we walked in, there was a big line, and we were like, we got to be on stage in like 40 minutes. Like this might not work. And we were out of there in probably 7 minutes.
It was insane.
Like, oh, yeah.
I was like, dude. I was literally saying. I literally said to you, I was like, dude, I think I'm just gonna walk back. I don't think this is gonna like happen in time. You're like, she said it'd be fast.
She said it'd be 5 minutes. I was like, just let's trust her. She's been here. And yeah, she was right. So
well, we trusted her, and she was.
Her name was Amy, by the way. So shout out Amy at Fremont. What a pro! What a pro!
What a pro! And I'm not talking about Whataburger. Yeah.
So after these dates with Steel Panther, we were added for the 3 Cali dates. We were also added for the 3 dates in our area.
Yeah.
So those are coming up at the end of January. We'll be in Greensboro, North Carolina, at the Piedmont Hall.
And that's
January 27th.
That's the 27th.
On the 28th, we'll be in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, at the House of Blues, which, fun fact, is the very first place I ever saw Steel Panther, and now I'm going back and playing with them there.
Isn't that wild? Isn't that
just
cool?
A few years, so that's pretty cool. And the 29th is the big one. We're coming home, Charlotte, North Carolina. We're going to be at the Fillmore with the Mighty Steel Panther. It's going to be a massive homecoming show. We're back from 2 tours of the UK, the Kiss Cruise, California twice. It's our homecoming show. We need you guys.
We'll probably and while tickets are available, Steel Panther's going to sell a ton. They could probably sell out that room themselves, but we're probably going to have easily 500 or 600 people trying to come as well. So please go get your tickets while you can, while they're available.
Now. Charlotte's our hometown. We've already been inundated with messages of people being like, "We'll see you there." I'm getting texts from people. Typically, when you're in a band, you're texting people, "Hey, Driz, come to my show. It's this day," and you're like, "Yeah, man, I'll definitely be there 110%. I bought my ticket now," and then you don't come, right?
Yeah, right.
This one's not that way. I'm getting texts from Driz, for example, being like, "Dude, got tickets. See you there." That's a very different thing.
Yeah, very different.
Very different thing. So as I was walking in here, I got a text I got to reply to from people coming to the show.
Yeah.
So I would urge you guys in Charlotte, in the surrounding areas, if you saw us in Greensboro or something like that.
If you're in the Carolinas, Tennessee, and you want to see a kick-ass show and have a good time, come to that Fillmore show.
Really anywhere in the Southeast, this is going to be kind of it's going to be a special night for sure. And you're going to get the LA maybe in a way that if you've seen us around Charlotte before, you're not used to seeing us this way.
Yeah.
We've been honing our craft on the road for quite some time now, for all of the last year pretty much. And at this point, we're a pretty well-oiled machine, and we have our original show, which if you've seen us around Charlotte, you've likely seen a cover show.
Yeah.
So
where we throw a couple originals in.
Yeah, we're mostly cover band. We're chilling. We're not fully dressed up. We're not headbanging. We're just kind of chilling, having some times. You come to this show, you're going to get the real LA Maybe experience that we've been practicing and playing all over the world for so many other audiences, and now we get to bring it to our home, which is awesome.
And not to mention probably one of the biggest rock venues in home. So
I would say it's the biggest venue in Charlotte, not counting
not counting amphitheaters or stadiums.
Yeah. Like it's the one,
Yeah.
It'll probably be a little bit of time before we can headline the stadium. So catch us at the Fillmore on January 29th, 2023.
That's a Sunday for those of you
That's a Sunday.
checking out.
That's no excuse.
No.
Come on, guys.
Dude, honestly, you should definitely go. Because what's calling out of work on Monday if you saw the best show you've ever seen on Sunday?
Show you've ever seen on Sunday.
Yeah. And I'm not talking about just the LA Maybe. It's the LA Maybe and Steel Panther.
Yep.
It's
and
going to be
one more mysterious act that's not announced yet.
Yes.
And I'm not being secretive. It's literally, I don't think it's known yet. So I'm not like hiding. I can't say. It's not that. We literally have no idea who it is.
But we're so looking forward to it. And again, support Steel Panther. Get their merch too while you're there, please. They're a kick-ass band. You're going to love their show. It is one of the best shows I've ever seen, and I've been to a ton of shows. It's so much fun. So.
Yep. It's tight. I think I could play their show at this point just from watching it so much. Yeah, that's funny, man.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that's pretty much it for the California recap.
Yeah.
So, what else we got on the?
That's a pretty darn good recap.
Docket. We have some other stuff to talk about. We can't really yet. So
yeah.
When the details are ironed out, we'll be back to you guys with more info on more things. But for now, 2023 has started off really good. So
yeah, 2023 is looking up. I'm extremely excited to see what happens in this coming year. So man, it's just the shot in the arm you needed just with these shows. And UK was awesome. This was amazing to do this at home, which is really cool because it's like it's awesome to go to the UK and do that, but it's also awesome to have the opportunity at home too. And sure, I guess traveling to the West Coast is almost like traveling to the UK.
That is
but
actually
least,
pretty damn close.
At least you can still drive.
Yep.
And the language is pretty much the same. So.
Yeah. It's pretty much the same in the UK too, but there were a few times where people would talk to me and I would be staring them in the face like, I speak English, and that wasn't it, my friend.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're trying to say. I don't know what you think you're saying, but it's not the language I speak. So
yeah.
I'm lost,
dude. But how about those in Wales? How about some of those signs, though?
Dude? The signs. This is the joke I kept making. It looks like here's how you type Welsh, and it's mostly apostrophes, and you're like, what? Where do I even begin? It's all H's. Like, how do you say that
How do you
word?
pronounce this? I'm sure it's an amazing language, but when you see it as an outsider, like
seeing
looking
road
at it for
signs
the
and you're
first
like,
time,
What? Jesus, we're all gonna die. There's no way.
But I would honestly love to hear someone speak Welsh,
I would too.
just to see what it sounds like, and just be like,
Probably
oh, wow.
sounds like English on steroids, where it's kind of like that's kind of it.
I think it probably sounds closer to like
you have
Gaelic.
Like Gaelic and stuff.
Yeah. And Gaelic is apparently one of
Gaelic
the hardest
also,
language.
Name it something better. That's not good.
Not by today's standards.
What do you speak?
Well, depends.
Gaelic. What? Not what do you do? What do you speak? Wow, we're offensive.
Dude, extremely offensive.
Yeah. But anyway, we're so stoked for these Carolina dates. We're so stoked for all the things that are going on in the LA Maybe camp. We get more and more announcements every day. We're going to have more guests for you guys in 2023. We have a nice long list of people we're going to ask. Hopefully they say yes.
Gaelic's not a bad thing. It just depends on who you're asking.
Right.
It's
better than lick gay. It's just very different. Just flip it.
Yeah.
It's right.
Cool
San Francisco's all about the Gaelic. I think. Pretty sure, right?
I mean, according to common lore, yes.
Common lore.
Yeah.
There we go. Yep.
Anyways, well, so I wanted to tell a cool story, a touching story.
I gotta make sure, buddy.
About an experience I had today. So it's no secret that Dallas and I work for Bold. And they're an awesome company out of Charlotte.
Bold
Music Lessons. I say Bold, that's kind of like my default. But Bold Music Lessons, they're based out of Charlotte. They have several different locations now, Raleigh, Greensboro, I believe, as well. And, if you're in the area and you're looking for lessons, please check them out as well. But they do this program with schools, preschools and elementary schools called Junior Jammers. And I just started Junior Jammers today with a new school that I hadn't done. And in fact, I hadn't done Junior Jammers since before the pandemic.
Right. Yeah, I remember you were doing it for a while.
Yeah. So, anyways, I've got my two and a half year olds. I've got my 1 to 1.5 to 2 year olds, and then my barely 1.5 class. Mm-hmm. Then I have a 2.5 to 3 year old class. So I've got 4 classes. Each one's 20 minutes. But in my third class with my youngest kids, I go in and we started off. We have our normal little song, and this kid just gravitates towards me, and he's got this look of just awe in his face, and he just walks up, and he's literally, all the kids are sitting down in a circle, and he's literally standing in front of me as I'm playing, just taken aback, with this almost smile, but it's that kind of smile I can't believe what's going on, like awe. And anyways, I get done with the the intro song and going through and doing that thing with that, and his teachers are kind of like emotional and everything at watching him and hearing the song, mostly watching him hearing the song. And I had noticed what looked like a hearing aid in his ear. And they said he just very recently had gotten a cochlear implant type thing. Right. And this was his first time hearing stuff like this. Mm-hmm. And I was like I'm in the room, just taken aback, because it was to see the reaction on, I'm trying to paint a picture with words, and I know it's doing no justice. And I was so touched by that. And I leaned over and I held my guitar out, and I was just like, here's how you strum it. And I let him strum the guitar. And dude, the look on his face when he strummed that guitar, was better than a kid who just got cake and ice cream. Mm-hmm. And a shit ton of presents. Yeah. It was he lit up. And so I just wanted to remind everyone about our humanity and how precious of a gift being able to hear is. And to think about that when you get to listen to your favorite things, to think about how cool it is that you get to, I think one thing that's so lost too these days is how accessible everything is. It was already a gift to be able to have a record at a certain point in time, and those were few and far between. Record players, technology, blah blah blah, kept evolving, and now we just have all this sound constantly bombarding us, and sometimes it feels like a burden for those of us that can hear. But to see that and realize, wow, to be able to hear is such a gift. Mm-hmm. And that's one of those experiences, the one I had today with that student. I'm not going to say his name. I do remember his name because, and you know how bad I am with names.
Mm-hmm.
I do remember his name because of how impactful that moment was.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be one of those things that I probably remember until I die or have dementia.
Yeah.
Probably
the first.
Die.
Yeah.
But anyways, no, I just wanted to like let everyone know, like we should all be so thankful that we're able to hear and experience these things, these songs, and the power and magic of music, because that moment reminded me of how magical music is. And after I got done playing that song, here's what's crazy is now he can hear, but he can't really speak, but he'd grown up with sign language. And there's this 1.5-year-old kid in front of me going, thank you, in sign language.
Mm-hmm.
And he did it multiple times.
Yeah.
With this look of just absolute
That's crazy.
awe on his face.
Because that's so young.
And I looked back at him and I said, thank you, too. And I was like, thank you. And it was just like, it was like probably more of, I don't know, maybe not more. I can't say more, but I was thankful for that moment because it reminded me of a lot of things that we just always take for granted.
Yeah, for sure.
And so as you're listening to music, it's not like, oh, I'm just listening to music. I get to listen to music. You know, it's not like or someone's playing something. I get to because I have the ability. It's something extremely special. So
yeah, I had heard, I don't remember who said this, but I'd heard music is the highest form of art. And someone had said it's because it attacks most, if not all, the senses.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what the reasoning was behind that specifically any more than that, but like you can't hear a painting, you know?
Yeah.
But you could see music, for sure.
Yeah.
So it kind of is, it involves a lot more of the senses than a lot of the other forms of art.
Yeah.
So that's pretty crazy.
Well, not to mention you can feel music because you can feel the vibrations. So you're also feeling, hearing. Mm-hmm. Can't smell music unless you're in a sweaty enough mosh pit.
You could smell like a new guitar case, you know? Open up a new guitar case or any guitar case.
Yeah.
Get hit with that smell.
But I mean, it's just
you can't feel it unless you're playing it.
Yeah.
And then you feel it.
Yeah.
And if you're playing music yourself, you're pretty much hitting all the senses.
Yeah. Well, that experience was a gift for him, and it was such a gift for me.
Yeah.
It was such a gift, such a humbling reminder of holy shit, how fucking awesome is this?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, it's really cool. And I'm a dad, so like I'm a softie too. Like when it comes to like, you know, like when my kids are having a good time. But that was one of those moments. Like I'm gonna remember that.
Same thing
happened for the rest of my life.
Same thing happened to me, but I pushed the kid away and I said, "I'm playing. You're next. Get in line. It's my turn."
I was waiting for that. I kind of half expected that to come.
I pushed him down on his ass, his little 1.5-year-old ass. He started crying. And my turn to play.
Yeah.
He taught him about sharing. You know, it's just part of growing up.
And you know, to respect your elders.
Right.
Right.
Yep. He was looking up at me with that look of awe you were describing, and I was like, "Yeah, kid, this is what it's like." Obviously, none of this happened. But on that note, I think it's a great time to move to the VIP section because there's no way we're topping that story.
Oh, yeah. And if you come to the VIP section, we'll talk about a first in LA Maybe history.
All right. lamaybe.com/VIP. Check it out. We'll see you there.
Deuces. Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching the latest episode of your new favorite band. This is the end of the free content.
But if you want to unlock the full uncut versions of every episode, head over to lamaybe.com/VIP and sign up for our membership. For $7 a month, you'll get extended episodes of our podcast, a bonus episode every month, plus exclusive merch. You'll also be supporting us and helping us continue to stay on the road and make new music. And for that, we're eternally grateful, so thank you.